I witnessed the exchange of a critical zero-day exploit and then followed the journey of how the vulnerability was analyzed and ultimately patched. In this video, I will tell you this story.
We have an outstanding show.
We treat this I call it the fire drill. Well, the wish is that they fail.
This goes back quite far, so we have to figure out if we can actually do that.
But we can't talk about browsers without talking about, of course, Manfred Paul.
It's usually two completely different worlds because there's so much optimization happening.
Yes!
There you go.
They said it's not just about finding the exploit, also making it reliable.
We're in the taxi now and we are going to the Mozilla office.
They said they only started looking at Firefox 2 weeks ago.
Great work that doesn't get a lot of recognition.
Followers of my channel know that I played a lot of capture the flag hacking competitions. These competitions work by somebody creating an intentionally vulnerable software and then the players try to find the vulnerability and exploit it. Now, Pwn2Own is a different kind of hacking competition. The original idea was that if you pwn or hack a real device, you own it. Pwn2Own. So it's about hacking real devices, real software, and of course, with the latest updates. I want to emphasize this again. The vulnerabilities used in this competition, they are 0 days. So yes, Pwn2Own is a competition, but it's a very prestigious competition. It's serious. We are dealing with real issues that could cause real harm. And that's why it's so special to me that I got exclusive access. So let me tell you how. This USB stick was just sold for $50,000. What could be that valuable? It's not a crypto wallet, no stolen data and no state secrets. Just a few lines of code. Beautiful but dangerous code. A zero-day exploit. In a back room of a hotel in Berlin, the trade went down. They are the ones who bought it. They are the ones who sold it. And they will make it worthless within hours. This is the story of 2 Firefox 0 days, the world's most prestigious hacking competition, and what it takes to keep millions of users safe. This is Freddy.
I'm Freddy. I'm managing application security for Firefox and looking forward to Pwn2Own.
He told me, Pwn2Own is coming to Berlin and Firefox is a target. Do you want to follow us with the camera and document the process? So, well, here I am. This is Christian from Mozilla, also online known as Decoder.
I'm Christian Holler, or Decoder. I'm a principal engineer, working mostly on security as well, and also looking forward to Pwn2Own.
How does it look like on the vendor side? Like what does Pwn2Own mean to Mozilla?
For us, it's a controlled situation. It's a good general exercise for us, but we can prepare. So people don't have to be that stressed out if you would have a real 0 day, but we can still practice the 0 day case and we use it as practice for our process.
Yeah, even though no real users are harmed, right? There's no real attack in the wild. We treat this I call it a fire drill. Like we see what would it look like if it was.
I would also add, due to the fact that it's recurring, like we know it's happening every year, what's happening at Pwn2Own, like every security bug, drives our internal security agenda. What we see there, we're trying to prepare against, we're trying to harden more, we're trying to look at the types of bugs that we're getting. And then since we know in the year this will happen again, we can sort of see a bit of the result. Like, is it still being done this way? Have the attackers changed, right? And otherwise, we would just have to wait for another 0 day, which happens very, very rarely. So this is also some kind of confirmation that we're doing the right things.
It's a great and different way to learn about exploits and how they look like without minification and in the wild, but rather a well-documented exploit with detailed code comments and the documentation and all of that. And I think that's really more insightful than any actual in the wild exploit could be.
So Mozilla uses Pwn2Own as kind of a security incident fire drill. And I think we all can learn something from this. Whether you are a red teamer or pen tester, bug hunter, blue team or developer, we are getting here exclusive insight into how Mozilla handles this. But of course, I'm not only interested in the defense. I want to learn more about the hackers as well. So let's have a look at the competitors. While the competition categories of Pwn2Own are known beforehand, nobody actually knows who will participate and in what order. So when we were all planning this, we didn't know if anybody was going to hack Firefox. But on the 14th of May, 2 days before the competition, we tuned into the live stream where they are announcing and drawing the order of the competition. Now, will somebody target Firefox?
Well, hello, everyone. I am Dustin Childs, Head of Threat Awareness here at Trend Zero Day Initiative. With me is Brian Gorns. Brian, how are we doing today?
Oh, we're busy for sure, and a little tired.
We have an outstanding show. Welcome to Pwn2Own Berlin. This is going to be fantastic. We have 34 entries, over a dozen in AI, right?
Yes, very busy in the AI category this year.
And of course, we have web browsers, we have servers, we have
Virtualization is going to be hit pretty heavily.
Going to be hit pretty heavily too. So, with that being said, I have a bucket list full of people. So let's start pulling names and let's start looking at the schedule and see how things are going to fall out. So Brian, would you?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first.
That's right. We have all of the operating systems are getting hit except Mac OS, right?
Yes.
So read into that whatever you may. Next up, we got R45 Edward Bochin and Tal Yan from Palo Alto Networks, targeting Firefox render only in the web browser category, 50 grand and 5 Mestre Pwn points. First browser entry. There you go. Next up, we have Manfred Paul, who was the winner last year, targeting Mozilla Firefox in the web browser category for 50,000 and 5 Mestre Pwn points.
Yeah, it'll be good to see him again. I just saw him recently in Korea.
Manfred Paul. The year before at Pwn2Own in Vancouver, he was crowned the master of Pwn.
But we can't talk about browsers without talking about, of course, Manfred Paul. There are 4 browsers in the competition: Firefox, Safari, Edge, and Chrome. How many did he hit?
Every single one of them.
Every single one of them. Congratulations, Manfred.
I drove to the Mozilla office and I met up with Freddie and Christian, and I wanted to ask them, what do they think about the contestants?
2 security researchers from Palo Alto Networks. They won a Pony Award last year for security research in V8 and WebAssembly in particular. So we are aware of that. And that is kind of, a guiding insight, I want to say. And the other participant is Manfred Paul, who's been attacking Firefox in Pwn2Own 2 times now. We kind of know what kind of bugs he would like to look at. And we guess it might be something similar, but we don't know. And we don't lock ourselves into that specific possibility.
Do you have like a personal hunch or wish, maybe components target?
Well, the wish is that they fail. Like as much as I like this as like an instrument of learning and getting feedback about how exploits are being written, of course, ideally, I would just like them to fail on stage. Like as much as I don't want to like offend them as a person, like I wish everyone to succeed in their aspirations as a person, but of course, I want them to not be able to exploit Firefox.
I would say it's not necessarily that I wish for a particular area to be affected, but I'd rather prefer an area like, for example, if something happened in a JavaScript engine, the people there, they're very well aware of the processes on how this works. We've had this before. They have a lot of experience with the situation. So you could expect that this goes very, very smoothly, while it could always happen that we have a vulnerability in some part of code that has been in maintenance mode for forever. Nobody touched this for a very, very long time. Being in this situation is much more tricky. Like, we have to figure out like who exactly last worked on that and who actually maintains that right now, and when have we last touched this. Such a situation would make me more nervous than touching, for example, the JavaScript engine, right?
Hearing Mozilla's perspective before the competition was interesting, but what actually will happen, they also don't know. So let's jump to the next day, day 1 of the competition.
We are rather excited. Like, we don't know what the bug is going to look like. I wouldn't necessarily say that we're nervous. I think we have a checklist. We went through the checklist. We're somewhat confident that we know how to handle this. But we are really excited to see this in person for the first time for us. And yeah, cool bugs are always worth looking. So in the disclosure room, decoder Christian is going to start like bisecting, analyzing, trying to reduce the test case such that we can do a better analysis of where it was introduced, what the patch intended to do when the bug was introduced. And I'm going to kick off all the communications with our team offsite and make sure that they can get started to work with it in parallel. Also bisect, analyze, maybe even start fixing.
Pwn2Own live streams their competitions on YouTube. So at some point they went live and we waited for Eduard Bochin and Tao Yan from Palo Alto Networks to execute their exploit.
Web browsers are a traditional target here at Pwn2Own. So, gentlemen, whenever you're ready, kick it off. Please. And just in case you're wondering, to win this category, you do have to have a 0 click. Browse to a web page is all you get. Yes! There you go. So that is a successful demonstration. Is there anything we can show on the screen? We pop out.
They did it, and the laptop with the proof of the exploit is shown to the camera.
Now, I want to be very clear about something. They did not hack Firefox in 5 seconds. They demonstrated it 5 seconds. They worked on that exploit for weeks ahead of time before they brought it here. So don't let anyone tell you that this browser was hacked in 5 seconds or whatever, because that's garbage. It takes weeks and weeks of work to get that exploit. It's a fantastic work. Now they go off to the disclosure room, and they're going to tell us exactly what happened. Then Firefox Mozilla is here. Then we'll bring Mozilla in, and we'll hand the bug to them, and they get 90 days to go off and fix it. Last year, Mozilla crashed faster than anyone else.
As you just heard, we are now heading to the disclosure room to hear all about the exploit. But not yet. Before that, the researchers had to do some interviews and some photos. That's something I didn't predict. And I could tell Freddy and Christian were pretty anxious. They just wanted to go to the room. Eventually, we did walk together the long hallways of the hotel into some mysterious back room, a secret conference room. But we were not allowed in there. First, the researchers had to share their exploit with ZDI because ZDI, the organizers of Pwn2Own, need to make sure all the required information is there. And turns out that process took a while. It's now 11:45, so it has been quite a while since they proved it on stage that their exploit worked. They are still in the room with ZDI to confirm the bug. We do wonder why. Are there details missing? Are they not sure if it's a duplicate? Because that's one of the things ZDI looks for. It could be that it's a duplicate and that's why it takes this long. So let's see how much longer it takes. I know you want to know what the secret room is like and what's happening in there. Believe me, I want to know it too, but we had to wait a bit longer. And unfortunately, you also have to wait for part 2. So subscribe on YouTube or follow on Twitter or Instagram to not miss the next part where we finally hear about the exploit. If you're interested to learn more about hacking, check out also our online courses on HEXTREE.io. We primarily have Android, web, and some hardware hacking videos right now. But if you're just interested in my free YouTube courses, you still should head over to HEXTREE.io because we put all my YouTube videos into a huge map as well. Here you can explore all my backlog of hundreds of videos in a more organized way and explore all the different topics that you might find interesting.